Boys and girls, now that you have read a passage on the desert habitat, you are going to answer some questions. First, please be sure to answer your questions in complete sentences, which includes restating the question. Question number 1, what makes the desert unique? Think about that. And if you need to go back into the text, go ahead and do so. You can reread or re-listen to the text to find your answer. When you are ready to answer your question in a complete sentence, you are going to, you will go ahead and click right here, and you'll see that you have a blinking line, and then you can go ahead and type. You will do the same thing for each question. Number 2 says, identify a few desert animals. Again, you, of course, can go back into the text if you need to, and when you're ready to answer, go ahead and give it a click, and you can start to type. Finally, number 3 asks, what are 2 adaptations that animals have made to survive in the desert? Think about that, find your answer, and click to write. Now, what is also linked in here is some help for you with restating. If you're a little unsure about how to restate the question, you can come over here and click on this link that says Restate Support Stems. Let's take a look. There we go. So in this document, there are supports for restating. Remember that when you restate a question, you use as many words from the question as you can in your answer. Being mindful to think about if the sentence makes sense. And a good tip to do that is to reread it out loud and think about, does that sound right? Is that the way I speak? If I said that to someone, would they understand what I was saying? Those are all good questions to ask yourself when you are thinking if a written answer makes sense. So you can go down here, and what I have for you is each question listed and then support on how you can restate it. Let's take a look at number 1. What makes the desert unique? So I'm going to think about my answer first. And once I am ready to answer that question, and I know what makes a desert unique, is I am going to begin forming my answer. And I am going to use words in the question to form my complete sentence that includes a restate. So how I could restate this question is, the desert is unique because. Take a look at the underlined words. In the question, I underlined the words the, desert, and unique. If you notice, in my answer, I also underlined the words the, desert, and unique. And that's to show you that I am taking words from my question and putting them in my answer. Now, sometimes those words will be in order, or sometimes I may have to add a word in between words, before, after, to make sure it makes sense. So in this example, I needed to add the word is in between the words desert and unique in order for it to sound right. The desert is unique because. Now, if you notice, I used italics, which is just a way to make the word stand out a little bit for the words is and because. Those are the new words that I added to my answer. The words that are underlined, again, are the words that I took from the question. Then I have my ... because that's where you come in to answer the question. That word because is such a wonderful word to use when you are responding to questions, because the word because is a way to explain about something. So as you go through the different restating support stems, you'll see that I followed the same format. Underlining to show the words that I'm using in my answer. Italics to show some of the new words. And my ... is where your answer to the question will go, to share the information that you have learned. In this document, there are support stems for your questions on slide 3. And if we scroll down here, as well as for questions that you will find on slide number 5. This support stem document will be linked into both slides. So as you work through your questions, if you need some restating help, this is a good resource to go to. And of course, as always, when you finish writing your answer, please be sure to check for capitalization and punctuation. Okay. Have an awesome time, and I know that you guys are going to become restating masters in no time.